Good evening, my family. So, it's hot, and I'm a little bit down tonight because, y'all, in all honesty, my heart is broken at the moment. To say that I'm a homesteader and that I have no heart, sometimes we do raise meat and eggs, and so, but that doesn't mean that my heart don't break when something happens. We've had a serious drought. It has pretty much rained one time in about 2 months. It is so dry here that the ground is cracking. Now with that, our heat has been so high to the point it's almost unbearable for even me. But I do what I have to do. Now I make sure that all the animals outside constantly have water. I've even gone to the part as adding apple cider vinegar to my chickens' water. Even though their coops are in the shade is just as hot as if it was in the sun. It's just slightly cooler. But even with that, no matter what I do, there can be times where honestly I can do all that I can do and still lose chickens. And that's what happened today. So far I have one I already lost. It was my juvenile Easter egger, and I just lost, or I'm watching and losing, and hopefully I can keep it a juvenile Brahma. So I'm a little bit heartbroken. And so at this point I'm praying for that relief in our weather so badly, because we need this. It keeps telling us our chances of rain, and those chances just blow right above us or below us and go right away from us. So we need this. So anyways, on to supper. I am making sub buns currently. Now, I have done videos with y'all where I have, hold on a minute. I apologize, y'all. I was outside and I got parched really bad, so I had to get something to drink. Excuse me. So, I have done videos in the past where I found a recipe and I thought we're going to try it together. But I got to thinking that sometimes that could be slightly dangerous to a point. Is honestly, if a recipe is going to fail, I'd rather it be my ingredients than yours. Because the simple fact is, some of you, and I understand that, some of my family just can't afford to take those risks. So I am testing out recipes again before I present it to you. Now there is a sub bun from copycat version of Subway from Fresh Milled Mama. I am checking this out. I'm also having to do something to this recipe that she does not have, and that is cut this recipe in half. Look, a lot of these out there are made for huge families or those who want to add high amounts into their freezers. Well, a lot of my family here is like me and my husband. We're just 2 people or very few. Now there are some with big families, and I can include both original, and I'm having to cut this one in half. However, I have to do it on my own. So therefore, this is a reason why I am testing this to see if I did this properly to make these buns the way they're supposed to. Also, I am doing something very different to my fresh milled, and I'm finding that it's making a huge difference. Now, I do not take away any of the nutrients and vitamins. For those of you who are milling, I do not take that away. I do, however, sift my flour. I will take my bran, because I have 2 different mills. I have a steel blade mill and I have a stone mill. Now, my harvest does not take a lot of effort to take bran and re-mill it down into a finer flour. It does not overheat the stones or anything, and I found it works amazingly. I immediately add that right back into the flour, and we go on just as we would the rest of the recipe. That is the only thing that I am doing different, is I'm milling my bran down slightly where it's not so fibrous. And it is making and creating the softest bread as far as home milled I have seen yet. So I have tested this over and over, and so far it is absolutely working. I can honestly say we are still getting the bran in our food, and I know we're getting all the nutrients and vitamins. So maybe this will help somebody else. Now, I know a lot of mills, you can't re-mill things. This isn't exactly the flour form, it's just the bran. So I don't know if that makes a difference or not, but I've been re-milling it. So I'll show you what I'm working on at the moment, and we're going to go from here. Okay, this is the Test Kitchen sub buns, the 12-inch buns. Now, I will tell you, one bun divided in half is just enough for me and my husband. So I will have 3 sub buns more to put in my freezer. Technically, that's going to give us 3 more meals. So I definitely did not need a full recipe where it creates 8 of these. So this is what I'm working on. So far, I will tell you, everything is working great. I will have to test the flavors next. Okay, so the other thing I want to do some checking on, I've got to find time, and hopefully maybe tomorrow. I have another machine, a sewing machine I need to test, because personally, this room in here, I love my chickens, but honestly, I've had these for 3 years. I need an upgrade to brighten this room up, especially in the summer. These might be okay for fall and winter, but I kind of want to go summer. And also, I need to, well, change up my aprons a bit. I've had my eyes on print like some big pretty lemons, maybe some sunflowers on my things here. I don't know. Give me some ideas that you guys may think, because you've seen my kitchen, but I definitely need to upgrade it. But first, I need to check my sewing machine. If I can get it running, I will go ahead and try to do a video on how we can make these aprons for your kitchen as well. Because a lot of people like me who just don't like to dirty our clothes. You know, I get dirty enough. I really don't want to have flour all over me too. And I'm like my mom. I mean, everything I cook, I wear it. But Mama always said if you weren't wearing it, it just didn't taste good. And my husband will vouch for that. So I'm looking into doing that as well. But I first got to find the lemon patterns, because unfortunately, I'm not finding any, not even from my material store here. So we'll see what happens. So from here, what we are making is chopped Italian subs. I am letting this rise, and then once this is finished and then it goes in the oven to bake, I will come back with y'all and we will make the ingredients that go with these subs, and then we will test them and see how they work. I'm also going to, and when we go back to Ripley's, y'all, I'm taking you with me, because we are going on the hunt for more green tomatoes. I need to find a good amount of these so I can recan them, because we really like this. So I am going to be making some fried green tomatoes out of the leftover hard white wheat from this bread. So I'm looking forward to supper. It's going to be basically cool, except for the fact that I'm using the oven right now, but I waited until the sun came down to make this bread. So y'all, it's been a day, but I know I have faith. I have faith, you know, and every year, whether it be wintertime, whether it be summertime, something always takes a hit on this homestead, and it's just, I need to be accustomed to it. It's been like this for 5 years, so we're just going to move forward, and I'm going to keep doing the best that I can. So the next step is we're waiting for the rise, then the bake, and then we're going to do some filling. This recipe, honestly, is a breeze. It takes, once you get past the bread, you're fine. Now, also, not only am I going to put the recipe for this one, or actually I'm going to send you the link to this recipe for fresh milled. However, for those of you who do not or cannot able to fresh mill, I'm going to send you a recipe for a very basic sub bun for you. If you choose not to be able to want to bake, and maybe you're not a baker, honestly, you can go to any store and get your favorite sub bun and just add the great ingredients that we are about to do for these buns. This will go all the way around, feeding everybody's family, making everybody happy just the way they like to have it. And this recipe will work for everyone. This is my goal from now on, even in the Mediterranean lifestyle. Okay, y'all, so here's the finished product. Now, my lighting doesn't do this justice, as it's a beautiful golden brown, but these are softer than I would have expected. And look at that bottom. It's nice golden, it's not super dark, and so these are ready for supper. Now, what I used was an oversized cookie pan with a silicone mat on top of it. Now, I do have a sub bun mold. Next time I'm going to try it, but for now I just did this, and I'm not displeased, y'all. We'll try this for supper tonight and see what it tastes like. Okay, y'all, so before I get started, I do need to bring this up. It keeps coming to me for the past couple of videos that a few of the subscribers would like me to start a membership on YouTube. Now, I will tell you, I am looking into this, and I would have to be pre-approved. It starts from the lowest and works its way up. Now, this is what I'm going to say. Totally optional. This is not something that will be mandatory on this channel. This is for only those who want to be able to have memberships. And basically, there's not a lot of people that would like to, but I cannot deny also those that would like to. So, I'm going to have both available for many of you. All you have to do is just do what you've been doing. Watch these videos and be a part of the family. That's it. And honestly, anybody who's a member, I'm not going to do special treatment. I may say a thank you every now and then, but to be honest, everybody is going to be treated the same on this channel. I cannot separate one from the other. So I will have a joint membership option. Before those who are looking for this get excited, I have to see if I'm approved first. I have to go through the process. Then I have to be fair at how much I'm going to put the 3 categories. So there is a process to this. Please know that if you do the membership, YouTube gets a portion of this as well, just like from this channel. So I'm not going to make a big deal out of this, and please, I hope this doesn't affect the rest of you. It's just an option there, and it's not going to change anything from what we're doing now. We will improve, if anything. So before I get started on supper, I had to get that one out there. So let's get back to what we were doing. Okay, y'all, so we are absolutely going to make a mess on this board. Now, I am using mini romaine lettuce. You can use any lettuce you want. Walmart has the double pack of this for $2.50. So I am actually using this. You can use a regular head of lettuce. You can actually use pre-shredded lettuce, spring mix, anything that you feel like you would like to do. Anything that is on your budget. I'm thinly slicing this, as you can see, because I'm shredding it up to use for our sub. Okay, now that sub, I'm actually going to use one of those that I showed you, because that'll be a 6-inch. These subs were made to be 12 inches long, so a 6-inch is just enough for me and hubby, and I still got more to put in the freezer. So we're going to do that. Alright, this should be enough lettuce to fill a 6-inch sub, so I can put this one away. Oh Lord, some fumbles tonight, y'all. So let me go ahead and get the meat ready. Okay, so you can actually make this lettuce any way you want to, thinly sliced, a little thicker, chopped, however you want it. Now the meat choices. Now in basically the Italian, you're using pepperoni, salami, pastrami, any type of meat. Now for me, we're using the sliced pepperoni that we get at Walmart for $3.97. I think it's $5.97 for hard salami. And then we are using the oven roasted turkey breast, and I think I paid $4 or something for this. You are welcome to do any type of meat you want, any type that is affordable to you. Make it your own and enjoyable to you and your family, because there is no particular way of making this recipe. You're just gonna chop it up, throw it in a bun, and look, on a nice hot night like we have right now, my oven, well, it's not on now. It was for my bread, but technically if I didn't have my bread, I don't have to worry about my meal. So let me get the rest of this. We'll be right back. Okay, y'all, so we have the salami down, and now I'm just going to throw in some pepperoni on top of this. Choose as much as you want. You don't have to do this. You can actually, if you didn't want to use meat, you can just use a bunch of vegetables as well. Some suggestions, which I am going to add on top of that, is some red onion, bell pepper, tomatoes, pepperocinis. These are good Italian type of vegetables to use in this sub as well. I'm going to use some turkey meat, some provolone cheese, and then the last but least, some red onions. Now I probably will have some of this left over, which would be okay because I can use this for lunch if I wanted to. So I'm just going to use a little bit here and a little bit there. Now I'm going to take a couple slices of provolone cheese onto this, and then I'm going to get and thinly slice a red onion. Just put this on here, various places. And if you use it for vegetation, you can also, or vegetarian, you can also add some cheese if you wanted, or however y'all do that. I don't know anything about vegetarian, but you can make a vegetable with cheese if you wanted to as well. Alright, so now I am going to throw a couple of these. I'll show you what I have here. We have some Mount Olive's Italian seasoned pepperocinis. Now I'm going to throw some of this on top of here, because we're going to chop this in and mix that in with our subs. Y'all, this is going to be so good. I've had this and it's amazing. And yes, I have a huge mess right now. Now let me get my onion, and once I get my onion, we'll be right back. Okay, so I am thinly going to slice my purple onions. You can make this any size you want. Now, upon thinking of other varieties of the same ingredients, if you did not want the bread sauce and wanted something different but still like the ingredients, you can make what's called an antipasta or pesto salad. In other words, mix this all up and just turn it into a salad, y'all. You don't have to have the bread. You can eliminate the bread and pretty much make this low carbed. So, and that's what I'm going to do with any of the, that's the reason why I'm making so much, because basically what's left after the sub, I'm going to be putting it away, and this is what I can have during the day during lunch. So that's the reason why I'm doing a little extra. I don't mind leftovers. Now, one last thing to add to this besides chopping it up will be my tomatoes. So I'm going to take and chop up some of this homegrown tomato. You can use any type of tomato you would like in here. I'm just going to spread this on here, and I will be right back. Alright, y'all, now here's where you go to have a mess. Now, here's a few things you can do. While you're doing this, if you are having a bad day, just take it out on this mess, because honestly, that's exactly what we're going to do. I've had a rough day, but you know what? All I have to do is just take my meal, because I'm not perfect. This is one of the meals I don't have to be perfect. I don't have to worry about a gorgeous presentation because I'm just chopping this mess completely up. Now, I'm going to go ahead and continue to keep doing this until I get it into bite-sized pieces. And once I do, I'll be back because we got a sauce that goes with this as well. So we will be right back. Okay, y'all, so here is our monstrosity mess. That's it. It's a mess. So right now I'm going to set this aside because we're going to make the sauce that goes with this. I am also going to give you a few options because honestly there is no recipe. But when I write this in the description, I will add a few options for you to do this and give you an approximation of the ingredients that I'm using. For the amount that I have, I'm going to use about 1/4 to 1/2 cup of mayonnaise. Other variation options you can use. If you wanted it even more healthier, you can literally use yogurt for this instead of mayonnaise. Now we are using Duke's. No affiliate, just plain using Duke's. Now I am going to be adding about 1/4 to 1/2 teaspoon of, actually about 1/4 teaspoon to 1/2 cup of mayonnaise of balsamic vinegar. Another option, which is another choice used in many of the recipes, is red wine vinegar. Same amount. We're using a little bit of salt and pepper to this. We're going to add a little bit of Italian seasoning. Some olive oil. And that was about a teaspoon of Italian seasoning. I'm going to add some olive oil to this. Just a drizzle on the top of it. And we're going to mix this all together. You're going to test it for flavor to see if it needs anything else. Just mix it really, really well. Now you can do this one or two ways, but the most popular way is the way I'm fixing to do it next. You can just take and line your mix over your sandwich and then fill it with your mix, their chopped mix, or you can do what we're fixing to do next. Y'all, I'm going to add a little bit of Dijon mustard to this. Just a tad. There we go. And now I'm going to, I think this is going to be amazing. And you can make less than this if you wanted. Oh, yes, that's it. Remember, this is to your taste. Now, what do we do? Now, I'm not going to use all of that mix. I will put some of that aside. But what I am going to do is create even more of a mess on this board. And just simply add this into my mixture. Look, I'm not even going to dirty up a pot. I'm just going to dirty up a cutting, one of these plastic little cutting things. Got to get, well, I lied. I got to dirty up a spatula. Now I'm just going to mix this all together and bring this to a creamy form into our mixture. Yeah, this smells so good too. And honestly, I probably will go ahead and add the rest of that because there's not a whole lot left. And it will mix very well. It's just the right amount for this. Again, make it as big or small as you want to. That's the fun about this recipe right here. Make it yours, y'all. You choose the meat you want. You choose the ingredients you want. You don't have to have meat. You can just make it 100% a vegetarian. You can add mayonnaise, or you can add Greek yogurt. I would suggest Greek because it's a bit thicker. And you can go with just this as a salad, or you can add a bun. Now we are using fresh milled. You can add low carb buns if you wanted to instead of this. This is going to fulfill everybody. You can turn this into a wrap instead of having a bun. I am giving you several options, y'all, to choose your preference, your style, your budget, to have this meal and not leave anybody out. This is my goal for this channel from now on. And that's it. Now, what do I do with this mess? Let me show you. Okay, y'all. I may invest into an inexpensive electric serrated knife for breads. I've been hearing that it cuts better than this. So, but we're going to take the 6-inch directly in half. Now we have, or this 12-inch, and we definitely have a half for each one of us. So we have 6-inch subs. I will be doing a video on this because this absolutely worked. I am super excited about it. So, and I will tell you, I have Italian seasoning on the top of this, and I have, for my cheese source, I have Gouda cheese. Again, I can get some pretty nice cheese, fairly inexpensive, y'all, at Aldi's. I could get some, actually, gourmet cheese for about $3.99, and I can't find that at Walmart. So, alright, I'm going to go ahead and put my sandwich here. Now, you can take, just to fill this up a little bit, you can take out the centers, just like so. Lay it aside, toast it, or set it aside and use it for breadcrumbs. That's usually what I do if I pull it out, is I'll tear it up, put it in a dish, and I'll set it aside to dry for breadcrumbs, because I'm always using breadcrumbs with fresh milled. So I'm just pulling that out a little bit. Now I'm going to take my monstrosity mess, get me a spoon, and I am going to spoon this on the top of my bun, just like so. I actually need to bring this closer, y'all. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and put this here. Alright, now, y'all look. Look at this. Every bit, morsel, and bite. Oh my gosh, you can't get this. This is amazing. At Subway, it's so much healthier than you get at Subway, and it's amazing. So now I'm going to take this and cut this in half for both of us. This is for hubby. And though some of the ingredients came out on the side, he won't complain, truthfully. I'll pull this aside. I'm going to have a small dish with some ranch homemade dressing, and then I had prepared our pickled fried green tomatoes. These are amazing, and that's the one I said that we are going to be doing some more of. I do have the recipe to this already in one of my videos. I'll have to look it up for you. And that's it, y'all. That is supper. It did not take me, besides the heating of that. And like I said, I know a lot of you don't do your own fresh milled. Some of you don't even bake. So you can make it even cooler on you in the long run as well. I hope I helped you with the many options. I will go ahead and give you a close-up to what this looks like. Hopefully this video helped each and every one of you. Hopefully I gave you some bright ideas to finish out the summer, because I am already creating in my mind ideas in the Mediterranean way how to do some amazing meals for supper in the fall and winter. So stick with me, y'all. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Watch these videos all the way through. It helps me to grow. I love you dearly. Until the next video, much love from Parton's Heritage Homestead.